Hi. For this question, I believe most students should be able to solve the part A, and I just want to share the solution for part B. Okay, an alternative method of doing so. Okay, so in this question, we have basically two person, Tim and Jerry, were paid a total of 8568 for selling tickets, and Tim was paid 5304 for more than Jerry. Okay, so in part A, they ask you how much was Tim paid for selling the ticket. It's quite straightforward. You can draw a model with Tim and Jerry, and since Tim was paid 5304 more, so Tim is a longer one, and total they sell 8568. So straight away we can see that okay, 2U is equal to 8568 minus 5304, and we get 3264. And divide by 2, we get U is equal to 1632. So Teams is uh, the paid for is actually U plus 5304. So team was basically paid 1362 plus 5304 or 6936. So I believe this is quite straightforward for most students. Okay, now let's focus on part B, which is a bit more confusing. So in part B, basically, they say that Tim and Jerry were paid based on the number of tickets sold. Okay, so and Tim sold 3 times as many tickets as Jerry. Okay, so remember, Tim sold 3 times as many tickets as Jerry. Okay, and Tim was paid $5 more than Jerry for selling each ticket. Okay, and how many tickets did Tim sell? Okay, so remember, it's 3 times as many tickets as Jerry, not the amount itself. So if the team is having, let's say Jerry is sold $10, it doesn't mean that team is getting $30. It just simply shows the number of tickets. So this is the part that your child should not be confused with. Okay, let me explain with a model. So we know, okay, from part A, we know that U is equal to 1632. So we basically know that Jerry has sold 1632. That's the amount that he was paid. Okay, so remember, if Tim is sold 3 times as many tickets as Jerry, so he must have gotten 1632 3 times plus an extra amount, which we do not know why this extra amount, because these extra amounts come from the $5 extra that he actually got for each ticket. So, okay. So with that, we can say that we take this extra amount, let's say call R, represented by R. We know that it must be 8568 minus away 4 times of 1632. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 times of 1632, and you get 2040. Okay. So I repeat here, the number of tickets sold is 3 times more and not the total amount. So I think a lot of students will get confused with this. And also, the remainder was due to the $5 extra that he got from each ticket sold. Okay, so since he got 2040 extra, so it must have come from the $5. So you simply divide by $5, and this simply shows that Tim had sold 408 tickets. Okay, um, for those who are not aware, I actually, when I share with my kids, I told her that it's actually quite the same as the cow and chicken question that usually come out in PSLE or even some school exam. This style of question usually provides the student with the number of heads and legs that observed in the farm and ask the student to determine the cow and the chicken. Okay, so for example, if there is a total of 30 cows and chicken in the farm with 86 legs, how many cows are there in the farm? Okay, so what I did was I told my child, you always start with the animal with the fewer legs. So in this case, we choose the chicken. Then we assume all the animals in the farms are chicken. Okay, and count the number of legs. So in this case, there are 30 cow and chicken. So I would say it's 30 chicken. And each chicken got 2 legs, so it will be 60. Okay, Then the next step, step 3, is to find the difference in terms of the legs between the two animals. So in this case is the cow has 4 legs, the chicken has 2 legs, so it has to be 2 legs, the difference. Step 4, determine the number of legs that is lacking from step 2. Okay, so this is the part where, remember in step 2 I count 60 legs, assuming all chicken. But in the farm itself, we know that there's total of 86 legs. So there is a difference. So the difference, we get 86 legs minus 60 legs, total 26 legs. So where does these 26 legs come from? It must have come from the cow. Okay, so we take 26 legs divided by the difference between the two legs, two animals in terms of the legs. So in this case, it's 2 legs, so it's 13. So the answer is 13 cows. Okay, so how does it relate to part 2 of the question that we discussed just now? Okay, I redo part 2 using the same method. Okay, simply I choose the person that with the cheaper ticket amount. In this case, Jerry is the one that has the cheaper ticket amount. Okay, so assume that all ticket was sold by Jerry. Okay, count the total amount. So remember, there were 4 sets of ticket that was sold. Okay, because Tim sold 3 times more than Jerry, so total there is 4. So I take 4 times 1632, I get 6528. Okay, then I find the difference in terms of the ticket price between Tim's and Jerry. So according to the question, Tim will get $5 more. So it is $5 straight away. Step 4, determine the amount that the amount of money lacking if the ticket were sold by Jerry. Sorry, there's a typo here. If the ticket was sold all by Jerry in step 2. So I know that total amount sold was 8568. Okay, according to the question, total amount sold was 6568. If it's sold by Jerry was only 6528. So I put 6528 here. So there is a difference of 2040. So 2040 must have come from the extra $5. So I basically take 2040 divided by 5. Yeah, it becomes 408 tickets sold by Tim. Okay, so this is how I teach my child to see the relationship between the different type of question, so that once she look at the question, she know what to do and not being confused. Hope that helps. Thank you.